What we've got going on right here is the League 15 final match between Vika and Scorpio Bandito. Of course, Vika being a teammate, I am going to root for him, but he's got an uphill battle with these Trandoshans versus Reylo. I know Scorpio Bandito, he's no dummy. He knows the deal here. Uh, Nothing particularly interesting in Vika's list there. It's the standard thing you've seen me playing here and there. Recorded videos, late night gaming stream, all that stuff. Played that deck a grip at times, and it is very, very good. But as I've been saying, Reylo is the tough matchup. And I think this Reylo build may be just a little bit tougher than most because it does have bloodletting in it as a single copy. It does have defensive teaching, which is pretty much irrelevant. But Scorpio here is definitely kitted out for ping damage to really reduce the effectiveness of armor plating and riot shield even further than they already are against Kylo. He doesn't really have to do a whole hell of a lot to get one of these Trandoshan hunters dead. He's got the double on guard, he's got the double polarity, the double steadfast. There's not going to be any stopping him from getting shields and using them when he wants to. And nullify is going to do double duty here as long as Kylo is still alive. Now, Vika does get that dead or alive in his opening hand to start with, and he gets a conscript squad, which he's surely happy to see. But I just don't think Scorpio Bandito really cares about this defensive teaching. This damage is coming swift, it's coming hard, it's coming all over his characters. So keeping the defensive teaching, I don't think is a worthwhile proposition here. But the steadfast in the opener is huge. If Vika doesn't play around that correctly, that could be the death knell of a Trandoshan hunter very, very early on. You will keep the dangerous maneuver. Will help out a little bit of a delaying action. And shadowed is, of course, something he's happy to see as well. Probably putting that on Kylo, saying like, look, okay, you want to move a shield, that's fine. You immediately have to remove it at least. You're not going to get to move a shield and then nullify. Double treasured. There is a Palpatine's lightsaber, which is pretty aggressive and pretty common these days to see Palpatine's lightsaber in Reylo. And with a roll of 3 to a lot more than 3, Vika gets to make his choice. Let me go ahead and hide that UI so we can get a little bit of a better view here. And choice on keeping that defensive teaching in his opener aside, I have to think like Scorpio can't have a better hand. I think Vika's asking him not to use those. As long as they both agree, I'm not going to be fighting anything on it. And that's too indirect. Probably throws them both on the Imperial Death Trooper. Dead or Alive comes out on Rey. I wonder if Vika knows that Rey is the target. Like, almost every time, you feint and you try to go for Kylo with Trandoshans, but the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced it is 100% Rey. Probably see that special go away to the electroshock. Yep. And 2 damage into that Trando. And Rey's power action is 100% going to be defensively used here, and so Shadowed is probably going to go on Rey just to make it a little bit painful. 2 indirect. Goes on that dude, that Death Trooper. And do we see Yoda's lightsaber come out next? I think so. I think he throws Yoda's lightsaber out, then he rolls Rey, then he resolves something. He's just trying to please do damage to me before I need to pitch to re-roll. Please do damage. I need to get this steadfast off. I'm not like I'm not trying to get there on big hits. I just need to get a little bit of damage I can over into that Trandoshan. If Vika resolves damage, that Trandoshan's at half health. Go back down to 2 from the DM, assuming no rerolls are needed through there, but man, it's a monster. Could Rey PA here? But it doesn't really matter with the Trandoshans. Keeping that paid side alive. Which will keep Conscript Squad locked out. Linking out that Trandoshan die, that specific one, did keep the Death Trooper power action offline, but he rolls naturally into it anyway. And someone is going to take a big hit here for 6. But more ping damage. More ping damage. I'm going to cross. Playing out this Conscript Squad is pretty risky. If he's not willing to re-roll with that dangerous maneuver that maxes out with his power actions, and not assuming anything worthwhile is going to roll on that Conscript Squad, he's maxing out at 7, whereas he has 6 right now. He resolves 6 right now and then goes to do power actions off the Trandoshans. That's a bit heavier. It's going to be harder to come up to 6 or 7 with that Conscript Squad without putting that Trandoshan Hunter at massive risk, because he would have needed to re-roll with the DMs. He's just going to go for the big hits. Threatening 8. How steely-eyed is Scorpio Bandito? You willing to take it? Looks like it. No shield sides available, no way to get shields. At this point, I think he's gotta play a hidden motive. He's got to do something here. I would keep that 3 side locked in, but hidden motive away one of those two sides. The reason why you don't want to do it on this paid side is this Conscript Squad's coming out. And yeah, it might not be great, but it could hit that 2 anyway. And now that he's already used both Trandoshan power actions, and the only response was a hidden motive, kind of gives him free reign. Ooh. 8 damage total. Someone's coming in hot. Someone's coming in hot. This DM is going to get played. But going to go ahead and pass along $2, and he's going to get to draw 2 cards for his trouble. Lock it down to 4 applied. The defensive teaching. Bloodletting is there. Bloodletting is nice. It looks like he's going to go ahead and do all that damage to Kylo. Which I disagree with. In this matchup, I have found that even if you kill Kylo, if you have lost a Trandoshan hunter in the meantime, Rey is a very tough nut to crack. I don't think he really thought that through with the assignment of direct there, but it is what it is. Scorpio keeping one of those defensive teachings. Almost like he knows something I don't with that thing. I just don't see the value in it in this matchup. Double Riot Shield, DM, Doubt, and Probe for Vika. Pretty decent hand all the way around. I wonder if he just doesn't take this money. Go full on ramp onto Rey. Not leading with the Benders, though, does kind of say you don't have Forsaken. See what gets picked up off of this treasure here. Finds all things, not what he was hoping to see. Doesn't have any forms of mitigation at all except On Guard and Steadfast, which don't really do a whole hell of a lot. Got Rey's power action. By the same token, Vika is also somewhat limited ability to respond. Riot shields are not your favorite, especially not when any one side will do the trick. Be surprised if Vika does actually feel a little bit under the gun here and just starts popping off power actions immediately. He may use probe into 4 here just to clear the way to do it. But that's some damage right there, especially following an On Guard. An On Guard turns that all into 4 damage. He's got a resource side showing on Kylo. You can pick that up, play the Steadfast. That's 5. Only needs to find 1 more damage. He would have 3 dice to do it with. Doubting on the treasured makes sense. Got that modified side. But boom, gets a shield anyway. We'll see this power action. Probably on Kylo. I assume. Giving up a damage if he doesn't power action here. And he would have been able to shift that damage over to Rey because Vika would have had to deal 1 damage to Rey to turn off the Yoda Saber special. We will almost certainly see a probe here. Oh, gonna probe into 2? Oh, maybe. I mean, he might just probe into this 3 anyway. God help Scorpio if he does use Rey's power action offensively here. He's going to lose what little remains of his hand to this probe. And there's going to be a lot of death and destruction as a result. Got to pick up value somehow. And I still think the plan is probably Power Action Kylo. Power Action Kylo, get your 1 in. Then you can get 2 more unblockable in. that riot shield's gonna eat your Ray guy in either way, but maybe Ray power action and just go for massive aggressiveness and say, you know what, I will lose Kylo this round. That is what's happening. Oh well, sucks to be me. And you go for the special on Kylo. Now, Vika has to do the math on this one damage side on his Trandoshan. He knows he's going to be able to pick up another 6, 8 damage minimum to follow, so I don't think he's that worried about it. But he does need to keep his action economy in mind. Not at risk of losing that Trandoshan Hunter, but if he can pick up Bendu's at the same time. That's a great get for him. Holy crap, we are looking at 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a ton of damage coming across. But at this point, knowing your opponent's tapped out, knowing your opponent can't actually play anything, and even if he wants to blank out one of your dice, he's going to have to take one indirect to do it. You can get up to 12. I think you just one-shot Ray here. Say, screw you, Kylo. I only have to worry about 2 dice around starting from right now. The only risky thing about doing that is Vika would be searching for another bounty for his guys to play off of. I don't think that's a huge concern. Got 12 on board. Gonna have another. Only needs 11 now to kill Ray. And that Trandoshan is gonna go down to 3 health remaining, which is a huge difference from 2 health remaining. Walking into what is going to be the next round without a Ray. I'm assuming without a Ray. It would mean that Kylo would have to do both of his dice just to kill that third Trandos. But it'll be 11 to Ray, 3 to Kylo. 5 dice versus 2. 3 money on the top of round 3 versus 2. The only saving grace for Scorpio Bandito would be control of Bendu's, but it's probably not going to get him a whole lot. Would have had things to do had he not been probed for his whole hand. And it looks like that is definitely going to Ray. Gets that dead or alive trigger. Four money. 4 money is 3. What I was thinking. Like he's already resolved that. There's another riot shield. Which, when you're that rich, why not? Anakin's lightsaber unplayable, on guard, not particularly good. Pacify could be helpful here. But the dude already has a riot shield. Special is either going to work or it's not, I think. He's just got to rush it out there. He doesn't roll lethal, though, here. Nope, no lethal. Here comes the Trandoshan. Power action. After this, I would assume that he'd be playing the bounty here. Not under any sort of time crunch. He doesn't need to face the enemy. Not at risk of Forsaken. There's nothing being done about that 2-side. It's safe just to go ahead and power action right here. Forces out the pacify. Let's see this Anakin Saber get dropped, which would have bought another 2 health, but definitely not going to matter here. Pacify polarity goes to the top, and then you just run out the rest of your round. No one's going to die. Get your power actions. Got a maximum damage of something absolutely absurd. It's like 8, 11, 12, 13 max damage. The on guard shield does not matter. The Anakin's lightsaber shields do not matter. Honestly, none of it matters. The polarity. Only 1 damage. Got a riot shield. It would take a re-rolled Kylo die plus a polarity. Plus a decent roll off of the next roll. But even then, you can get around it just by blocking the 1 damage off the polarity and just saying, yeah, I'll take 2 for Kylo spell. And at that point, now you'd have to re-roll off of the shields from Bendu's into the range damage, and that's not going to get you anywhere. But yeah. Here comes the heat. Doesn't matter. And we'll be going on to game number 2. 1-0 in Vika's favor. But Scorpio will get his choice of battlefield coming up. I think he would be better served by choosing Night Sister Lair. Taking the shields to start. That puts one of those Trandoshans at 7 health instead of 8. Depending on the way the damage shakes out on dice. It's pretty doable at that point. Is he going to keep this defensive teaching in his hand again? I dearly, dearly hope not. I really, really hope he does not. I think with this opening hand, I think the way to go, drop that cross guard out. Overwrite it. Then drop the cross guard out, roll Rey out, overwrite cross guard with Nim and Mastery. Pick up a lot of value. He's given up 1 damage in favor of defensive teaching. Well, I think Vika did a full hand wipe up there. I wasn't even paying attention to what Vika was doing. Face the enemy and best defense and DM. Kind of what he's looking for here. He's going to start with both of these shields and hope not to get shadowed. But no bounty to start for Vika. Pretty major. So he's going to kick it off with a face the enemy play out. Probably ditching. It doesn't matter. He has to ditch the no questions asked. And he probably ditches the hidden motive. The defensive teaching play is very, very strange to me. Really, really weird. Not keeping crossguard is also really, really weird to me. This Nim and Mastery has to go on Kylo anyway. Because what he's really going to be trying to do here is pick up shields off of Ray. Just walking into a disrupt. I think resolving that disrupt, even without hand knowledge, like just looking at the board state, I would think that Vika would resolve that disrupt 100%. It turns off damn near every upgrade in the deck. Right? Yeah, you don't get to keep him from putting Yoda's down, but Nim Mastery's not coming down. Anakin's is a pipe dream. Crossguard's not coming down. Dagger is a pipe dream. Treasured's not coming down. Palpatine's isn't coming. It's so much turned off by allowing that disrupt side to resolve. And he's going to be forced to pick up this dollar from Ray. Hope to get around the other disrupt. And then he'll at least be able to drop the Nim Mastery down at that point and flip Ray over to a special, which will be incredibly helpful. But he needs to proceed with that plan right now. I don't even think he can bother to hidden motive. I think he's just going to need to take damage to get his Nimin out. Okay, nullify makes sense here. That's a shield there, Vika. Problem with doing nullify is when he goes to pick up this dollar and then he drops down the Nimin Mastery. If Vika hasn't resolved range at that point, you're not getting your value out of the two shield. That one side just becomes the biggest pain in the ass. The only thing that gets him out of that is resolving this one side here puts Vika at fear of Forsaken. He might just resolve his own one. Or he might face the enemy. And now Scorpio's turn is just completely shot to shit. I think is what's happening. Yep. So in Vika's position, what do you take? I think you definitely take that hidden motive. And I don't think you worry about the no questions asked. I think you take hidden motive and Nimin. Well, I was like, screw it. You're not getting any extra dice. That's why Vika is probably number 2 in the world last year, and I'm not. Making the best of a bad situation. No bounty to start. And here comes Kylo. Little bits of ping damage. We'll probably see Rey go aggressive here. Unless Vika re-rolls, which I don't think he will. I think Vika is going to play Electroshock. I think he's going to play Electroshock. He might pitch the Electroshock to re-roll and say, if I'm in a terrible situation, I can always DM and best defense if I don't roll a paid side off one of these Trandoshan hunters. Stuck without a bounty. Those Trandoshan dice get very frustrating very, very fast. Is Rey going aggressive? Rey is going aggressive. I do not blame her. And now the decision has to be made. I think he does Electroshock here, but pitching that best defense from hand just to find value on his other 3 dice, especially now that paid side is just locked away. Feels really, really bad. I think you just put it on Kylo and move forward. You're already having one of the best round ones you can actually hope for. Even if you walked into the disrupt. Could get away with playing defensive teaching here. It's not like he's not going to deal that 1 damage to Kylo just to turn off the power action. And that's about as good as Scorpio could have possibly hoped for as an end of round 1 game state. Could have had a cross guard out on the field. Could have had a Niman out on the field. But I think here, just forward progress without having given anything up is plus. Not sure why he's rolling Rey. Looking for the special, I guess. Getting out of Dead or Alive. Possibly. Micah does have things he can do. That probe is not going to be incredibly useful here immediately. But it is what it is. I think the move is probably... Yeah. Play that Niman. Go queue up a couple of shields. And you just start becoming a load-bearing shield wall here. You can resolve both of those on Kylo. Get away with a lot. And then once everything moves around, would be 2 shields on Kylo, 2 shields on Rey, with 1 Rey die still left in the pool. Risky move doesn't even get out of anything. Question is, in this position, you overwrite Niman with Anakin? I don't think you do. I think the risk of getting probed out of 3 is too much. Just far too much. I think maybe what you do here is you roll Kylo out. But you need to do something about this. Take control of the turn. What I would do. Get a lot of action economy by doing it that way. Oh, I forgot completely about defensive teachings. I guess that's why he has it, but I still I'm not super on board with it. I'm just not. So he can overwrite Niman with the Anakins after he moves a shield around over to Rey. So now Kylo's like loaded up with 5 shields. Rey's got 2 shields. One of those Trandoshan hunters will pick up a shield from that. Well, and my internet died. I'm going to try to bring that internet back up. And this is unfortunate. We're going to have to do this manually. I should have an auto save there. I'm going to put this back together as well as I possibly can. Oh, man. All right, give me just a second. Boom. Can't even find the dice. Oh man. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All right, here's what we do. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna save. That's Vika. Scorpio. And in theory, color. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, you all have to watch this. Hey, all right, there we go. We can unfuck all of that, and I should probably put it on the right. Da, 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 da. All right, cool. There we go. Move everything. All of this stuff. Kylo. Lemon. Ray. That's. Was it? And. Pop into red. Alright. Kylo, I don't think had any damage. Have 4 shields. Ray ended up on that. And 1 health there. I think that's correct. I'm sure I'll be corrected shortly. Not. Yep, that's alright, so it's spawning left. Alright. Alright, cool. I can't remember what these dice were on. I know only one of these were in the pool. This thing, that was a thing. Don't think the Death Trooper had any damage on him. And I hope I got that right. I really, really hope I got that. Oh my god. Okay. So, we're back in business. Thank God. Sorry you had to sit there and watch that, but I guess that's a tutorial if you really need to restore a board state after everything's been fucked up. And that's how you can do it. It's irritating, but it's doable. Alright, and things are actually looking pretty up for Scorpio. His defensive teachings are proving me wrong, but certainly a pain in the ass for Vika to deal with, although I think considerably less so if he had had a bounty round one. Risky move, definitely the way to be here, my opinion. Doubt not great on Kylo's die when you have a dude with shields out there. Not what you want to do, but there is an ambush card playability available. He wants it. Now, doubt on Ray's die is a lot better. I don't think Vika can afford to let him resolve that as is. I think he should doubt it. These shields are now stacked up to the roof. And the upside for Vika here is shields are stacked to the roof, but damage output is pretty low. And he's gonna, if he gets a good probe here, he gets to do some big hits. But wow, Ray going up to 5. Is that a May? Yeah, it's not a May. It goes up to 5. Yeah. Life pass. All right, I'm gonna stop talking, making myself an ass. Really hurtful doubt. Very hurtful doubt. But all 3 power actions online. The only thing he even really needs to reroll here is the conscript squad, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does it anyway. He needs to make up for lost time. He's gonna go ahead and give the Death Trooper a shield and remove one of them 2 sides. Nullify, such a great card in general, especially good for Reylo. Probing into 3, only trying to hit that, no questions asked. Got it. But I think, you play Palpatines on Kylo here, you pick up your dollar, then you're like, okay, you can try to hit Kylo, but just gonna overwrite with Anakin's. I pick up my shields anyway. Still has raised power action. I think a reroll is going to happen here. Kylo's going to get either kitted out right now with another 2 shields to start next round. and force the damage to go on to Kylo, which is honestly kind of okay with him because that Anakin saber still does have redeploy. Not like it's ever going away now. Gonna end up with battlefield control, and there's Vika with his trademark rolling ability. Holy crap, dude! All right. Ray power action or not, something's happening. There's a lot of damage, but these characters have 16 health apiece. Apiece! 32 health if Vika has to punch through. Yeah, he's gonna get like all of it. He's gonna get all the damages here, even through a Ray power action. It doesn't matter. Still 9 damage, but wow, a lot. He's actually forgoing 1 damage here. He's leaving 1 damage on the table. But the Ray power action is completely irrelevant here. So, re-rolling a raised die. Finds another shield. So dead or alive, not on the table. I think you just resolve the shield, block 1 of the damage, and then move in. With Knight. At this point, money is a concern for Vika. No questions asked. Did not get played. Sinister Piece, not great. No money available. Riot Shields, not super great. The Fickle is actually a gamble. Because, Ray could just buy it. But we're going to see them and over right here. We can see a lot of things. Holy crap! All right, so that's 2 coming in unless he Sinister Pieces it. Nimin could create another 2. Cross guard for 1. Pick up $1 later on. Steadfast. Kylo power action. There's a lot. A lot of stuff to be concerned about here. Doubt is probably the way to go. But it's not like Sinister Piece is terrible. He might be trying to save Doubt for the Nimin. Sinister Piece, 4 Sinister Piece on that 2 side? Yeah. Sure. Feels weird, but what can you do? Alright, here comes Nimin. Go to special? I think it goes special. You're not going to be super aggressive. You're going to go to special, going to resolve. I think you roll out Kylo first. Because of Anakin's shield sides. Shield side. Either way, you do what you do. I'm actually not super on board with that play. I mean, if you're just going to roll the resource side naturally, then yeah, it's a great play. But if that didn't roll resources, that was like blank or single shield or discard or something, then resolving 1 of those Trando dice for resources actually solves a lot of problems. Should I just pick it up? Pick up the $1? Force the issue? No. I definitely would have steadfasted there at that point, though. And those are what we call some damages. Holy shit. Those are some damages. That's like the one rollout you wish you had kept one of those sinister pieces. Oh man. Okay. Doubt is the play. I think you have to do it on a Kylo die. Doing it on Nimmin from there just completely kills any chance you have of coming back and doing anything. But Kylo's got like that Kylo. When you're hoping Kylo hits disrupt or I'm sorry, discard or resource, that's a tough spot. So let's say Kylo does hit resource, picks up the resource off the doubt, and then he plays crossguard, or then he just does 4 and then plays crossguard. Or yeah, no, you would crossguard first. What you would do there. But just banking on this modified side does not pay out. This is one Trandoshan hunter down. You can't, don't get cute with it. Don't get cute with it. Why is he getting cute? If you're gonna get cute, like, yeah, okay. It makes the dice irrelevant. All right. Okay, I'm about to send myself into a panic. But yeah, use that Trando's power action to move that other Trando die to a 2. At least get some value out of him. Basically negates the Rey power action. Now you can get cute. If opponent's not doing anything about that, I think you resolve the Kylo special into that other Trandoshan. At least before you leave the Nimmin die out. What I would do there. You are gonna kill it, which I totally understand doing. Your action economy's shit at this point anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can afford to be really slow. What we call value. You're gonna reroll here. You're gonna reroll with Yodas. I think is wise. Reroll the Nimmin. I think you do. With a riot shield just plop down on the table like that, I think you reroll with Yodas and reroll the Nimmin. Say, this is going to be a big pain in the ass. But you don't need to do that when Rey is going to roll her special side all natural. No end of shields. 16 health characters. Holy crap. Here she comes again. That's irrelevant. I don't think that counts. This card's gonna get pitched through. I don't know about that. I think he could have pressed the advantage there and put Kylo's side to a special. But 5 damage coming somewhere. This is gonna be Kylo. I think power action Kylo now. And even taking these huge hits, clearing all the shields, putting barely scratches. under the armor of Kylo Ren. I mean, I holy Jesus. It's just don't stop coming for Vika. Fine, doesn't even need the reroll. At Trandoshon, 4 life left. If I could forgot a shadow trigger. See if that is. Yeah, that is a May. Just complete ownership and control of this game right now. Almost doesn't matter what Scorpio does or in what order, he's coming out ahead. Yeah, you can get rid of your pacify, you can get rid of your hidden motive here, but it's still 2 on guards. Being a pain in the ass, and I mean, even on their basic use case here, if they're not enabling anything else, they're not enabling power action, they're not enabling special sides resolving, they're not doing anything at all. It's 2 on guards still remove 1 die. It really settles the maximum damage here that Vika can put out down to 8. 8 will not kill anybody. He has to electroshock one of those dice, but then 3 get resolved in to the Trandoshan. The Trandoshan will then resolve 2 into Kylo, and then we'll see an on guard kill. But Scorpio's like, nah, I'm flexing, bro. I'm flexing. Yep. And game 3 about to start. Vika will have battlefield choice. I was really doubting those defensive teachings, man. I still kind of am. I think that game goes very, very different if there is a bounty in play in round 1. I don't think those defensive teachings become nearly as valuable. But it worked out for Scorpio. I'm sure he feels good about that. We'll see who, in less than 35 minutes, will be the season 15 winner. I want to create a storyline somewhat akin to Rocky. Like, we paint Vika as in a brush. He's like washed up, start of season 16. He's got to get back into fighting shape. Got the young upstarts who are just taking him down, knocking him on his ass. That's a thing we can do. Bloodletting is very, very interesting to me. I like bloodletting quite a bit in Reylo. It solves a lot of problems. Does a lot of things. Not keeping the treasured. I guess that makes sense because if you're going to start with polarity, you want to die and a polarity. You have no guarantee of having money, especially in the face of all these disrupt sides. And treasured is really putting a lot of pressure on your own die rolling ability. But any special side rolled here starts the game massively in Scorpio's favor. There it is. You got to do something about that special side. Spend the dollar for polarity? I think you do. Just to get ahead of all the disrupt stuff. Like, I'm going to play polarity this round regardless. Let me just do this. And then resolve these shields. Play Yodas on Kylo. Still have the power action. Plenty of rerolls. Face the enemy on the way. Interesting that he'd go with the Bloodleg, vice the Yodas, but I do agree with it. And that's some painful stuff right there. I think you kill the Nullifier. I think you kill the Yodas. Could see Bloodletting, deal 1 to Rey, flip over to the special side, leading into a Kylo power action, into a resolution of the Rey special. There could be a ton of value coming out. It will 100% either prompt that Electroshock or Doubt out of Vika's hand. Question is, where does the damage go? Vika is going to have a lot of damage potential here. Unblockable. Yeah, so I don't know what he's planning to do with Bloodletting. He led with the power action. I guess on guard gets it there. It is kind of weird. I should see this coming. Doubt right now. Probably his best move. Keep up his dollars. Let him either play that Fickle or the Electroshock if it's absolutely necessary. And I think Doubt's the way to go. You're only super, super upset if it hits the 2 melee side. Even re-rolling into the special here, better than it happening off of the on guard. Like it has other plans, and those plans include damages. Many, many damages. $14 and $13 health respectively. Quite possibly about to be 14 and 14, although the action economy from this point is going to kind of dictate that Bendus comes out. Rey is just putting in so much work this round. Absolutely insane amount of work. A little more ping damage. Not sad to see that side from Bandito. No two shield side. I get it. But it's still nothing to sneeze at. Every little bit helps against these 8 health characters. We're certainly going to see a reroll with Yodas. I have a feeling Scorpio's not happy with that range side, but I would be. Okay. Cool. So he does that. Reroll is going to happen with Yodas, more than likely. He really needs to find 3 damage off of 3 dice. But within Ray power action striking range. Not the huge hit Vika was hoping for. Just electroshock as you reroll. I think he's in a position where he needs to pitch that electroshock to reroll. Needs to roll really, really big stuff here to get around Ray's power action. Or at the very least, to force Ray's power action defensively. If it goes offensively from here, hop, skip, and jump away from a dead Trandoshan, or any actual damage has been done, or anything life threatening been done. Only really one better side on that Fickle. I'd keep it on the 1. If you have spare money, you can always use your power actions on the train. Okay, so only 1 Trandoshan die, not going to be resolved super well. But does Vika just resolve the discard? I think he should. If he doesn't resolve this discard, at this point, yeah, pitch Nim into reroll. Why not pitch Nim into reroll? Yeah, 4 dice out there. Keeping 1 shield side, I don't agree with there, but that just is what it is. Setting up for next round, I guess. So if he uses Ray's power action offensively, he can just straight up resolve 4 into that Trandoshan. Leave the value behind. I think the move here is to leave the value behind. Resolve 4 into that Trandoshan. Resolve the shield side after Vika claims Bendus, and then first action can be just a power action kill. one of those Trandoshans. Then you're only dealing with 4 dice to a still a very, very healthy team, all things considered. If opponent is working with that would have been another 2 damage or 3 damage. But either way, trying to get it off of 4 dice, uh, actually, in my eyes, harder to do than trying to get a 7 damage off of 6 dice, especially with control of Bandito. A little bit of push pull, a little bit of push pull. Like Anakin's coming out to play. Makes sense. I think Vika forgot his shadowed again last round. Gonna blow up bloodletting. That's what it looks like he's doing. I think he'd be better served by trying to get damage in with that Trandoshan. Kylo, run the table here. The electroshock makes sense. But the fact of the matter is, you can raise power action and bloodletting. If bloodletting doesn't go away, that Trandoshan will die. 100%. DED dead. More and more and more shields. With a defensive teaching in hand. Slight mistake there. I think he could have played the defensive teaching and then used push to get an extra health. He may be protecting his nullified from a possible probe. Is certainly valid. Those are damage sides, but super impressive ones. Not quite the kill on the Trandoshan this round, but it's about to be. Unless Vika's Bendus ends up rolling shields. But even then, double steadfast in the deck coming up. I can definitely see re-rolling with Yodas here. That's one of those sides you wouldn't want to see off of that re-roll, but hey. The odds were decent. Hitting the jackpot on a special would have been just phenomenal for him. Like it does have to resolve this focus now. Looks like he forgot. What are we looking at here? Another 2. It's another 2. 9 damage. That is enough. Kill Kylo. Defensive teaching and then solving a special would have saved Kylo's life. Now, not even a steadfast. Get the job done against that Trandos. Rey does not have any damage dealt to her just. I really don't agree with taking that fickle. Any resolve disrupt side makes that steadfast a lot harder to play. Yeah, it's a source of damage. Yeah, it sucks. If your opponent has one. But I think life just became a lot harder. Scorpio Bandito here. The best defense come out for both Ray dice? I think so. That's what I would do. I'm not Vika. I think you probably pitch on guard here. Least valuable of the cards. Especially since I think the other Nemean is in the discard. Mike is looking right now. I don't. I'd look at. Yes, it is. It is gone. Reroll for naught. And Vika may have just found himself back in control of the game. That is one eminently playable disrupt side. I would resolve that without even a heartbeat. But he may just be banking on this probe. He may say, look, my opponent really wants that dude dead. Gonna discard another card to reroll Bendu's and Anakin's. They're too valuable dice to just let languish unresolved. Then I can probe. Then I'm safe from everything. Oh, man. Perfect probe. Absolutely perfect probe. Now Scorpio Bandito is kind of on the ropes. Only his Ray power action for mitigation, but it will still result in the loss of 1 health. Well, he will find 2 damage off of Anakin Saber. It may not even be worth trying to resolve it into the Trandos. Just hope and pray that you draw your second first or your second steadfast. And Vika rolling as he usually does, but at least he doesn't have any money to back it up in that case. For Scorpio's purposes. That is still 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage coming across. It's going to go down by 2 because of Ray's power action. But still. Really only goes down by 1 because of Shadow. Ray is on the ropes. 4 health remaining. No shields. A lot of the tricks, a lot of the funny business that can come out of the deck has already come out of the deck. He's praying for the steadfast. Does not get it. Has no control in hand. Best play is to just roll out, I think. He is rolling out. He's threatening across the board. And while Vika does have a lot of mitigation, he can only play 1. Question is, can he find the damage he needs off of just 3 dice? Got a handful of rerolls. Have a couple of power actions. Will Bendu's resolve for shield? That's my immediate. That would be my follow-on concern. And would Scorpio choose to try to find health with his cards rather than damage, which could very well be irrelevant? Nullify, not doing anybody any good with no shields on his character. Because trying to see what he's going to walk into, but it doesn't matter. He can't actually play around anything. Has to put his dudes out there. Take Rays or Anakin. I think taking Rays here is better. I get to see what he does with the focus. If he's going to move it over to the two shield side. And you know, like, my opponent has no mitigation. Got nothing going. But rolling out the Trandoshan does play around. To nullify, because the response to any gain of shield would be to. Now, Scorpio's going to get out of this round scot-free, I think. Even play this dagger. Blank one die with Ray, you can remove one die with Nullify. If I has to re-roll, even the death trip, he needs to get damage across. Okay. I was very confused. And Ocean power action into Ray power action. Deal one. It will deal one. But Scorpio has made forward progress this round. Vika did not. Did put a couple defensive moves of his own in there. He's got a riot shield down. He's got Bendu's now. It's on the account. Most mitigation cards are gone. Got a best defense plus a face the enemy. He's going to be firing for effect this round. I'm sure he's very, very happy to see that side of the die pop up. Best defense to clear out any shield side showing after this face the enemy happens. Face the enemy, definitely going to take that no questions asked, definitely going to take that pacify. Not a great face the enemy in the sense that not leaving your opponent any worse off than what they were before. He does have full hand knowledge. He goes, okay, I got to deal with polarity and steadfast. That's 2 extra health. So assuming I'm going to risky move or best defense away, any shield sides that pop up on your side of the table, I need to do 6. I think Vika can do that. It'll be a little trickier getting it through a Ray power action, but getting it through the Ray power action does still only make the health differential 5, so dealing 5 off of those 3 dice with at least 3 rerolls. And he does have a Bendu's. That's damage of its own. That indirect side could be incredibly relevant. Got focus. Got shields. Got everything Vika kind of wants right here. Maybe the resources. It's not on a resource crunch. I forgot to make sure that Vika put the no questions asked on top, which is the smart play because of, yep, treasured. Although even then, you resolve one of these upgrades, you override it with treasure, you pick up no questions asked. That's 2 dice gone, 2 cards drawn, pacify, raise living actually. If Scorpio does things correctly. Like I believe would be well served by just resolving that 2 side immediately. Like I need to get my dice out there before no questions asked pops up. That's technically enough. Prompt a ray power action. Not even resolving the dagger shield gets him out of anything. Polarity plus the steadfast leads into a Trandoshan Hunter power action. 5, 6, 7 damage. Yeah, Trandoshan power action. Yeah, doesn't even need it. Yeah, should have just overwrote that previously and drawn no questions asked. That 2 health didn't do him any good. Wowzers. What a game. I still want to call Vika washed up. So I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to proceed with. Vika, you're washed up. You may be season 15 champion. You're washed up. All right, thanks everybody for watching. I'm sorry we had that issue with the board state and just struggled through, but do appreciate everybody tuning in, keeping an eye on things. Season 16 is still in progress right now. Those top cut matches will start the beginning of March, and coming up in April is going to be our big invitational tournament. So that should be a fun time. Get some good games recorded, get them out there, push them live to you. Hope to inform the world's meta along the way. Take it easy, everybody.